Have a seat, Aditya.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Have a seat. Aditya is from Lucknow, Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir.
And Aditya has done electrical engineering.
Yes, sir.
And that is your optional, and also BTech.
Yes, sir.
You are you work for some time as an analyst.
Yes, sir.
You are fond of studying about dinosaurs.
Yes, sir.
And evolutionary science behind relationship dynamics.
Yes, sir.
So, okay, Aditya, tell me, what do you understand by Taj trapezium?
Sir, it is an area around the Taj Mahal which has been reserved to ensure that pollution does not harm the Taj Mahal. So, any new construction, etc., is restricted in that particular region. I'm unable to recall the.
Can you tell me approximate area of Taj trapezium?
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read about it.
You can read about it. It's about 10,000 square kilometers.
Thank you, sir.
Now, do you think nationalism is on the rise in Uttar Pradesh? And is it good? And tell me, what is nationalism? And where do you draw a line in nationalism?
Sir, nationalism, in my understanding, is the feeling that we belong to the particular nation and the nation belongs to us. This is the kind of feeling that exists in nationalism. And I do think that nationalism is...
But that is similar to patriotism. There is a difference between nationalism and patriotism.
Sir, one of the differences I can see is that nationalism says that our resources are meant for the betterment of us. And the priorities should be given to us instead of to others. This is what I'm able to recall.
You can go and slightly read more about it. Nationalism and patriotism, you see. The patriotism doesn't speak ill of any other country.
Yes, sir.
But nationalism feels that our country is the best, you see.
Yes, sir.
So, now tell me, do you think nationalism is on rise in Uttar Pradesh? And is it good?
Sir, I would say that it is a bit on the rise. However, I would not say that it is bad, because a feeling of nationalism motivates people to do much more for their country than what they would have done without that particular feeling.
Okay, my last question to you.
Yes, sir.
What do you understand by Nautanki? Nautanki is very famous in Uttar Pradesh.
Yes, sir. It is a form of drama. That is all I'm able to recall currently.
Okay, then just add one more thing. Can you name some of the freedom fighters from Uttar Pradesh?
So can I take a moment?
Yes, sure, why not?
Sir, one of the freedom fighters I'm able to recall is Shri Chaudhary Charan Singh ji. That's what I'm able to recall currently.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Aditya,
Yes, sir.
73rd and 74th amendments
Yes, sir.
have ensured the political decentralization but not administrative decentralization.
Yes, sir.
What is your comment on it, and what is the way out?
Sir, I do think that administrative decentralization has not been ensured in its fullest capacity, because still we see that there is a concept of overlordship of the DM in terms of the developmental activities. And I think that we need to devolve more power as well as more funds, and even empower the local bodies to generate their own funds to ensure that the participative democracy is upheld to its best.
Okay. Can you tell me in brief a snapshot view of the Indian foreign policy since 1947 till date?
Sir, initially we focused a lot on building our own capacity, because we did not have enough food also, and we relied on the PL 480 scheme for wheat. So once the Green Revolution was done in correspondence with the other nations, then we started making, in parallel we are also making our stand that we are in favor of the non-aligned movement. So we would not want to align.
Can you tell me phase-wise, year-wise, phase-wise, and each phase either comes to an end or begins with a very important event?
Can I take a moment to think?
Yes.
So NAM began around the end of the 1950s, and with that we shifted our focus to non-alignment along with many partner countries.
Okay.
However, we saw a bit of tilt that India took in 1971 war, whereby
before that something happened. Something happened in 62.
yes, sir, there was the India-China war in 1962.
Okay, so I will advise you
Yes, sir.
to prepare 6 phases of Indian foreign policy.
Okay.
It is very much being discussed. Our Minister of External Affairs has very succinctly put them out. So
Yes.
that will be worth going the through.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Okay. So, do you feel that the basic structure doctrine has led to the over reaching by judiciary?
Sir, in my opinion, the basic structure doctrine is essential to ensure that the basic tenets of the constitution which were envisioned by our forefathers are stuck to, and in that sense I would say this is not an example of judicial overreach. Rather, it is an attempt to preserve the basic features of the constitution intact.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You are an electrical engineer.
Yes, sir.
What is the future of electrical cars, considering that our Prime Minister has launched a national hydrogen mission recently, and hydrogen also is to be used as a fuel?
Yes, sir. Sir, in my understanding, these both would probably exist as parallel mechanisms, just like we see today that few cars are running on petrol, few are running on diesel, few are running on CNG. Apart from that, there is also an element of commonality between the two, whereby we see that fuel cells can be used to power electric cars via the use of hydrogen. So that is another thing I would be looking forward to. Apart from that, there are numerous startups which are coming up in the same segment. So we would also see indigenization of...
But will hydrogen as a fuel be more economical?
Sir, it would be difficult to comment at the current scenario. However, I would hope that both of them would become pretty competitive, but it is not easy to see which one of them would dominate.
Okay. You know something about RTI Act?
Yes, sir. It was brought about to ensure transparency.
Okay. But is it successful in India?
Yes, sir. It has been largely successful. However, it has a few issues related to it which are pointed out time and again. For example, a large number of rejections were seen up till very recently, and however now the rejections have come down. Apart from that, I also read a few reports pointing out that various RTI activists have to face coercive measures by the general public. So those are the major challenges that the RTI Act currently faces.
What happens if the officer concerned is not in a position to supply the information sought? Is there any penalty?
Sir, I'm unable to recall if there is a penalty or not. However, the rejection can be done in particular cases like under Section 8 of the RTI. Apart from that, it is compulsory to provide RTI information within a particular time span.
It never happens. The ground realities are very different. Even political parties are outside the purview. Judiciary is outside the purview of RTI Act. And CIC is being controlled by the government directly.
Sir, I would say that there are certain things which have been put outside the purview of the definition of public authority, such as the judiciary, because that was essential to maintain the independence of the judiciary, which is also a basic feature of the constitution.
Okay, one last question.
Yes, sir.
You come from Lucknow. What is Lucknowi Tehzeeb? Lucknowi Tehzeeb.
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Sir, Tehzeeb refers to the word culture, and there are few prominent examples of Lucknowi culture. For example, tunde kebab and other cuisines of Lucknow are very famous. Apart from that, the architecture style of Awadh, which uses things like lakhori brick and surkhi and other eatable materials to construct the bada imam bada,
That is
etc.
not Tehzeeb,
Yes,
It's a
sir.
different thing altogether. Tehzeeb is something else.
Yes, sir. These are also components of the culture. The main thing that Tehzeeb refers to is the adab or respect and all those things which is associated with Lucknow.
You're working at Goldman Sachs.
Yes, sir.
How is that company?
So it is a good company. It is one of the finest American banks.
recently the magazine The Economist characterized as a Goldman Sachs. That means that something is not right about it. Do you know? Being an analyst, can you analyze your own company?
Sir, actually, I left the company in 2020, so I...
Oh, okay. You're no longer there.
No, sir, I left in September 2020. However, one of the major things that happened recently was large number of layoffs, as is evident in the entire IT sector. So that is something which can be troubling the company currently.
Okay, because it was described as Goldman Sachs. Anyway, now you're an electric engineer.
Yes, sir.
Tell me the advantages of 110 volt and 60 hertz.
Sir, one of the major advantages of 110 volts is that it reduces the probability of people getting shocked and dying from the shock. That extra 10% is given to ensure that the voltage drop is compensated during the transmission. So these are the two major advantages of this system.
Then why people use 220 and 50 hertz?
Sir, the initial setup which was done during the times of Tesla was according to 110, 50 and 60 hertz. In 60 hertz is still used in USA, etc. However, now, in India we are focusing on 50 hertz. I'll have to read a bit about the reasons why the differentiation.
Okay, you're also interested in mass extinction, etc., evolutionary.
Yes, sir.
Tell me what caused Ice Age. There have been several cycles.
Yes, sir.
What causes that?
Sir, mainly it is about, for example, the Ice Age that happened just after the extinction of dinosaurs. That was because the asteroid impact had happened and the dust had been flown into the atmosphere. That had blocked the sun rays from reaching the Earth, and that led to subsequent cooling down of the Earth for the next hundreds of thousands of years. That was one of the major things.
So it has been only once?
Sir, as far as I can recall, there have been more than 6 cycles of Ice Age.
So all of them had the same reason?
No, sir. The others had different reasons. For example, one of the Ice Age happened because the carbon dioxide levels had fallen down, and there was a blip after the end. During the tertiary period, there was a blip in the carbon dioxide levels that reduced the greenhouse effect and led to the Ice Age.
And there have been many events of mass extinctions.
Yes, sir.
And that is also because of the same?
So few extinctions have been because of Ice Age, but most of them have been for very different reasons. For example, volcanic eruptions led to the end of the Permian period and the beginning of the Triassic period, which led to the dinosaurs. Apart from that, at the end of the Cretaceous period, we saw
some people argue that this kind of cycles are part of the nature. Then why are we so conscious about environment now? Even when man was not there, these things happen.
Yes, sir. But I would like to say that these things happen at their own slow pace. What we have done is that we have sped up the process of extinction because we have heated the earth at much faster rate than what it happened naturally.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
You are the most economical bowler.
Yes, sir.
And how do you economize in life with your various habits?
Sir, the most important thing I try to focus on is time management. So I try to allot my day according to the targets that I have for the particular day, and even prepare long-term plans.
Okay, that's all right. What about economizing resources so that you conserve in your own little way the resources of the earth?
Sir, I try to adopt a minimalistic lifestyle, whereby I try to ensure that I'm not spending on various lavish things, especially in the current scenario where we see that even clothes are making Atacama Desert a dump site, where we see that fast fashion is hampering the environment. So those kind of things I try to avoid. I try to minimize the number of clothes and the number of shoes, etc. that I use. So this is the kind of thing.
Now you were working with Goldman Sachs. You had everything. One of the finest companies in the world to work for.
Yes, sir.
So a great reputation. An excellent remuneration, which you won't get here for next 20 years or 15 years.
Yes, sir.
So why are you leaving all that and coming here where you start from 70,000, 80,000 rupees?
Sir, my prime motivation there was that while working for the Goldman Sachs, I was also volunteering for something called the Anna Kshetra during the weekends. So that made me realize after a careful thought that only money and only working for a few balance sheets cannot keep me motivated for my entire life. And I thought that I have to look for much more of a human impact. Apart from that, there was also an element of diversity and the kind of career path that the civil services offers, which was absent in the company Goldman Sachs. So these were the prime motivators.
So should we tell all guys who are doing BTech and MTech that this is a very limited field that you are going to work, and therefore eventually you will end up doing something else? So you're wasting government's effort and money by doing BTech, MTech?
Sir, in my understanding, it depends a lot on the personality, because not everyone gets attracted towards diversity. There are many people, even in my friend circle, who find pleasure in working for research and doing specific tasks, like trying to master one particular subject to such a core depth that they forget what else is there to learn. So that is the kind of thing that few people get motivated towards. It was also part of personality, I would say.
Right. Have you heard of Indo-Sri Lanka Accord 1987?
Sorry, sir, I'll have to read about it. I think it was around the Tamil war, Elam war, which was going on at that time, but I'm unable to recall the provisions of that.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Read about it here.
Okay. So, Aditya, we will take you back to the waiting room for a while.
Yes, sir.
Just stay there and we will call you for the feedback.
Okay. Thank you, sir. May I come in?
Come. Have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
Aditya, first of all, you have to tell me when is your interview.
Sir, I have not received the date yet.
So, plenty of time with you.
Yes, sir.
Tell me how many, how many attempts have you made to the UPSC?
This is my second attempt going on.
And first interview?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How have you done your mains this time?
Sir, I would say, like, apart from the electrical paper one, rest were good in my understanding. There, I think I would have made at least 10-15 marks more I should have got.
Okay. So, how many mocks have you done so far?
This is my third.
Third mock.
Yes, sir.
Some more to go after this also.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how do you perform in this particular mock?
Sir, I think that there were few, or I would say there were some lapses in my knowledge.
Which were the lapses that you think?
Sir, especially the one about the electrical that sir had asked, that I think I should have known. Apart from that, a few accords and the foreign policy, those are the things that I should have answered better.
Okay. All right. So, Aditya, first of all, let me say that your articulation and communication is excellent.
Thank you,
absolutely fine. And your choice of right words, you are not using pedestrian language or layman language. They were technical words, good words, chosen carefully. Structuring was fine. And the delivery was also quite smooth. No pauses in between. Your facial expressions, your demeanor, your eye contact, your scanning, your modulation, your intonation, everything was perfect.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Dress is also absolutely fine. Okay. And coming to now your knowledge part. So one was that, of course, that you were having good knowledge. Your answers were very rational and logical in most of the cases. I asked you about the Taj trapezium. You knew part of the answer. Part of the answer you can prepare how many, what is the area of that. So that, yes. So there is the supplementary question also try to prepare. That if after this question another question is asked, so you should have a complete knowledge. Yes. That's about it. But your mental alertness was very much there. You had a balance of judgment. So pros and cons you were able to see, and presence of mind was also there. Clarity of thought was also. The answers were succinct, to the point, not very long. All these to go in your favor. Coming to specifics, I would like to only mention that since your performance has been very good, I don't have to tell you much about it, except the fact that Lucknow and Uttar Pradesh prepared that quite well. Lot many things can be told about the historical, religious, cultural, socio-economic situation in Uttar Pradesh and in Lucknow. Okay? Yes, sir. Then, for example, if I ask you this question, which not many people know, that Lucknow is a part of a group of towns. Now, what is that group called?
Sorry, sir,
you're not aware.
Yes, sir.
Have you heard the name of Kabal?
Yes, sir.
So, what is Kabal?
Sir, I'm unable to recall at the moment.
Okay. So Lucknow is a part of Kewal towns.
Okay.
Kanpur, Allahabad, Lucknow, Varanasi and Agra.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So about Lucknow and Uttar Pradesh. Uttar Pradesh, the investor summit is going to be held. Prepare that on that.
Yes, sir.
What are the strengths of Uttar Pradesh? What are some of the controversial things about Uttar Pradesh? So bulldozer and police encounters, love jihad. These are some of the things. Positive side, infrastructure, expressways, the industrial climate, positive vibes. The power situation is good. The labor situation is also good. Cheap labor, cheap land. All these things go in favor of the investor. Okay.
Yes.
And then coming to your own subject, electrical engineering, I think there are many questions which can be asked. Self-sufficiency in electric power in this country. What is the percentage of power from thermal power plants? What is from hydro power plants and so on?
Yes, sir.
And also, how far have we reached in the nuclear power situation? You see, what is non-conventional energy sources? How far have we progressed in that? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then coming to electric cars. Now, electric cars would use electric power, you see, because the batteries have to be charged.
Yes,
if the batteries are getting charged from the same power which is being made by thermal power, then there is hardly any advantage. Either you produce power, first of all, the base power should be from non-thermal sources. Only then you can take care of the environmental problem. But nevertheless, the dependence on fossil fuel will be definitely reduced as a result of electric. So electric, then driverless vehicles, hydrogen powered vehicles, the future of vehicles in this country. Associated would be the problem of traffic congestion. So traffic congestion is again impinging upon the environmental issues. So what is congestion tax introduced in many other countries? What is NGT doing regarding reducing traffic congestion on the road? So the LPG vehicles and the CNG vehicles and so on, everything about this.
Yes, sir.
Now coming to some other areas, so electrical engineering, you also understand some basic concepts. What is volt? What is kilowatt power? What is ampere? Basic things, but people sometimes are not in a position to answer that. What is piezoelectric current? You know?
Okay, sir.
So what is the flow of electrons, photoelectric effect? What is a cell? You see, how electricity is produced from the cell? Why it has become compulsory to install solar power cells on the roof of the houses?
Yes, sir.
These are all measures related to electrical engineering. Then coming to IIT. So since you belong to IIT Kanpur, so the question normally is asked is, are we not diluting the effect of the institution of IITs by opening so many IITs and IIMs?
Yes.
So that again is something which is often asked. Coming to general things like you're studying about dinosaurs, well, number of questions were asked regarding evolution. Prepare well on that.
Yes, sir.
And it's an interesting topic. Some people definitely would be tempted to ask questions on that.
Yes, sir.
Evolutionary science behind relationship dynamics related to a dinosaur. Then you have given your first preference at Uttar Pradesh cadre, and your services, of course, IAS, IPS, and then other services. Coming to some general ideas which I would like to mention to you. One, of course, was the state. The other is regarding the constitution. So constitution is one area where many questions can be asked. So vice president, president, speaker, their role, the election, and also how the impeachment can be done of judges and also of president. Okay, when does president invite both the houses to address them? How many times? When is budget presented? Why the budget is presented on 1st February now? Earlier it used to be on 28th of February. Okay. Then what are the important hallmarks of present budget? Go through the salient points. The Economic Survey of India, and also please read through the Niti Aayog website. It provides a very good bird eye view about the future of this country. Just 5 things which you need to prepare more. One is GS2, GS4 paper. Even though you have done it, but many questions in personality tests are asked on the values and ethics which are required in a public servant. Some of the ethical situations in which you can be put in, which is the part B of your GS4 paper, case studies. So that kind of question will also be asked. And you have to always stand on the right side of ethics. You have to be ethical. So the answer has to be ethical. If a wrong order is given to you by a minister, you will say that it is wrong order, you will not implement it. You will not say that since he is my master and he is controlling, you will not say that. Then coming to the United Nations and the institutions. Okay. The foreign policy of India. SDG, MDG, and also the indices which are there. Good governance principle will be already been in GS2 paper.
Okay, sir.
This is overall situation. If you have any questions to ask, you can ask us.
Sir, I wanted to ask two questions. Firstly, about my speech. So, was I speaking fast and...
No, absolutely normal. There is absolutely nothing wrong with your speech.
Okay.
If someone tells you, just ignore it.
Okay.
You are absolutely, the way you are, absolutely correct.
And second, was I visibly nervous
Not
at
at
least
all.
in the
There
initial?
was no nervousness.
Okay.
Even if it was not apparent.
Okay, sir.
Were you nervous?
Sir, at least initially the first 5 minutes definitely.
You don't have to be. Your board will be very comfortable.
Okay, sir.
You will do extremely well.
They only want to bring out the best in you,
Yes, sir.
so don't worry about it.
And some of the questions you can just take a pause, then think, then come out with the answer. Don't be in a hurry to answer. These are some general things. Always give examples in support of your answer.
Okay, sir.
That will make your answer very good.
Okay, sir.
And controversial questions, give both the sides.
Okay, sir.
Do not go along one particular direction. Give both the sides. These are the things.
One more thing, sir. Actually, due to the corporate culture, I have a habit of saying "okay, sir." So, I've been told that "okay" word should not be used. So.
If it can be avoided, it is better.
Okay.
Yeah. You should say yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes is better. Don't even say yeah, yeah. You know, some people have this habit of yeah. Yes, sir. That will be.
See, okay has a connotation of approval. That you are approving whatever has been said, and that is why I avoid it.
You have to be having humble humility. That is the answer. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And when you come, you must use sir or ma'am. We noticed that you just said good afternoon.
You must address the lady member and the gents member. Sir and ma'am.
Yes.
Sirs and ma'am. That's it.
Okay. Thank you,
And
sir.
tie should be slightly longer. The tip must touch the belt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All the best to you.
Thank you.